All right, we are 9 days removed from Israel Adesanya's loss at UFC 305 to Dricus Du Plessis, where he was strangled in round number 4. Okay, and I thought to myself, wow, is this going to be the first time we see Israel Adesanya take a loss and not make excuses for it? Actually take a loss well, the way that people like Joe Rogan and all of his fans say that he does every time, even though he makes a whole host of excuses every time he loses. And I don't know why I was so naive to think that that would be the case, because we have Israel Adesanya doing exactly that. Okay. Now, as I said, every other time before this, right, when he lost to Alex Pereira, he had excuses. He said he had lingering injuries. He said Alex Pereira hit him on the perennial nerve, even though he didn't. Every single time we see somebody get hit on the perennial nerve, you get drop foot. Israel Adesanya never experienced that a single time throughout the course of their fight against Sean Strickland. It was burnout and lingering injuries, of course. Against Dricus Du Plessis, immediately afterwards in the cage, he said, I felt great. This was the best Israel Adesanya. He gave a whole bunch of credit to Dricus Du Plessis. I thought it was quite nice. I thought it was a bit of a change. I thought maybe Israel Adesanya has learned the error of his ways, and he's trying to be a little bit more humble, trying to accept losses a little bit better. Not so much, okay? So we're going to go over that now. He is kind of allowing Alex Pereira to make excuses for him while just signal boosting this excuse. And then he's also gaslighting fans. Okay, so I'm going to let the video play from Alex Pereira. I'll just read out the subtitles to you because I cannot speak Portuguese and neither can most of you. Okay, so I'm going to read that out and then I'll read out his tweet where he reposts this, signal boosting the idea that he had an injury. So Alex Pereira says immediately, I'm just going to mute it because we don't need to hear him speak, to be quite honest. Okay, of course I don't know how Adesanya was. When we were there, we don't talk about injuries, don't talk about problems. Well, Israel Adesanya does. Israel Adesanya does every single time he talks about injuries. Okay, he just does, right? So he says that. Skip ahead. We are there. We want to fight. We want to win. No excuses. Maybe Adesanya had an injury. I don't know. You could see he kicked very little. I didn't see very little kicks from Israel Adesanya. Now, I do believe that he kind of got away from the low kicks, right? Kicks to Dricus Du Plessis' leg, but I thought that was because he felt he was having a lot of success going to the body. So he continued to do that rather than attack the legs. And he even said as much in the post-fight press conference after the fight. He said, I was having success with the leg kicks. I started getting away to other things. Maybe I should have, kicked to the leg a little bit more. Maybe I would have been able to get him done that way, right? So maybe Adesanya had an injury. I don't know. You could see he kicked very little. Things I saw, that inside kick of Adesanya was very good. Skip ahead. Not everyone can do that, but he can do it very well. It was a good weapon. He didn't continue doing that inside kick. Even Dricus said it bothered him. Also bothered me. I said before, for the people who asked, he didn't continue to do it. He's only throwing hands. I think it's easier. So he wasn't only throwing hands. And listen, who am I to give a better analysis or believe that I could give a better analysis than somebody like Alex Pereira, who is probably the best striker that we have ever seen inside the UFC. However, right, I believe my own eyes. I saw Israel Adesanya kicking a lot to the body. Now, he was throwing a lot more boxing combinations than we had typically seen him throw, right? And he was digging to the body of Dricus, but he was also throwing a lot of body kicks, whether it be teeps, whether it was round kicks. He was attacking the body. He did kind of get away from the low kicks, but I didn't think it was because he looked injured, okay? And Israel Adesanya said he felt the best he's felt in a long time. Now, he didn't continue to do it when he is only throwing hands. I think it's easier. For the opponent to protect themselves or to get out, it was easier. For the opponent to protect themselves or get out, it was more boxing there, so it was easier for him. Okay. And of course, this gets signal boosted by the biggest Israel Adesanya stan on YouTube and Twitter, point blank, period. Right? And he says as much. Pereira suspects Adesanya could have been injured due to his lack of low kicks. Right? So he's signal boosting the idea that Israel Adesanya may have been injured, and that's the reason why he lost to Dricus Du Plessis. And this shit just annoys me, dude, because every time he does this, he's just taking credit away from these guys that beat him. And then you've got unbelievable, super fans of his who, like Joe Rogan, who said that when Israel Adesanya lost, it felt like America lost a war, even though this dude is from 3 other countries or whatever he's from, right? And he's not American. None of them are American. Okay, it's an odd one. But Israel Adesanya retweets this or reposts this, whatever, and says it's weird how this guy knows me. It's like we've spent hours studying each other's moves and fought multiple times or something. I mean that. Okay? When you've got Alex Pereira saying, oh, it looked like he was injured, and Israel Adesanya says, man, it's weird how well he knows me. What the fuck other than what else could you be implying other than you were injured? Because that's almost what that entire 52-second video was based around. He started talking about injuries immediately, right? Immediately into the video. The first set of captions is him talking about injuries, and he spoke about them all the way through this video. What else could you be implying there? Okay, Israel Adesanya. He is trying to allow somebody else to make excuses for him, which he has done before, by the way, right? Eugene Behrman was able to make some excuses for him. Dana White was able to. Every single person on the planet was making excuses for him when he lost to Sean Strickland. He was a little bit quiet about it, but then he came out after and said, yeah, you know, I didn't have breakfast that morning. I don't know, just something. My arms felt like noodles or something. You know, all these bullshit, utter bullshit excuses. You got outclassed in that fight. And in this fight, dude, you had a guy in Dricus Du Plessis who was willing to stand on the feet with you, have tons of success, right? It was a very competitive fight, but Dricus Du Plessis was doing very well on the feet. And then eventually you got worn out. You got dragged down after you pointed at the ground. You tried to pull a Max Holloway and then tried to run away. Dricus Du Plessis dragged you down and strangled you. Okay? Right? There was no fucking injury. At the very least, not one that was clearly apparent. And when you were in the cage saying, right, well, this is the best I've ever felt, credit to Du Plessis, he beat the best out of Adesanya, all this. None of that matters when 9 days later you signal boost somebody saying you have an injury, right? And then obviously he got a lot of pushback in the comment sections. So he came back and said this. This is a master gaslighter technique being used from Israel Adesanya right here, okay? I just said, quote, he knows my style. Go touch some grass, please. What an absolute dirtbag. Do not allow him to gaslight you. He was 1,000% implying he was injured. As I said, when you have a video that's almost an entire minute in which Alex Pereira spends talking about Israel Adesanya maybe being injured because of a lack of low kicks, and then you say, man, it's weird how this guy knows me. What? First of all, quote, he knows my style. Hey, bro. I don't see that fucking word anywhere in your initial tweet. I don't see anything about your style. It's weird how this guy knows me, right? Each other's moves and fought multiple. Yeah, but you could, you know, I'm not going to allow you or give you the charity that you're not going to give to everybody else when you know damn well you are signal boosting a video that implies that you were injured, right? We are so used to this. And like I said, I thought for a brief moment in time, I thought, you know what, maybe Israel Adesanya has grown as a person. He spent some time away. Maybe he realized how annoying he was, you know, very humble after being defeated, which, I mean, I guess it's kind of easy to be humble then because you literally just got humbled, right? But as I said, usually we'd seen him make excuses almost immediately after every single loss. And after this one, when he said that he felt great, I thought, you know what? Good. Don't allow for people to take away from Dricus Du Plessis' win because he beat you fair and square. He beat you in a lot of moments on the feet. He beat you on the ground and he strangled you. He finished you, right? He finished you. So it's just annoying to me. And listen, I'm shocked but not surprised, I guess, or surprised, not shocked. I don't know, dude. I shouldn't be surprised, should I? But I thought that maybe he was a little bit different. Maybe he was going to act a little bit different. And it seemed as much after the cage. But of course it is Israel Adesanya. So I shouldn't have expected much else from him. Do you know what I mean? Do not allow him to gaslight you. He was absolutely 1,000% implying he was injured, as he does every fucking time, okay? He's trying to discredit Dricus Du Plessis' win. He's trying to make it seem like, well, you know what? Yeah, he beat me, but I was injured. I had little nigglies, as he likes to say, right? So, anyways, dude. Yeah, don't let him gaslight you. Annoying. This guy, unbelievably annoying as well, okay? Unbelievably annoying. Absolute stan. And these excuses wouldn't fly for anybody else. And watch, dude, just because this was very, August 25th, this was yesterday that Israel Adesanya reposted this. Just you watch, dude. We're going to see guys like Joe Rogan. We're going to see guys like, like that, Brendan Schaub, guys who stand for Israel Adesanya for whatever reason. Be like, oh, Did you see what Alex Pereira said on it? He thinks Israel Adesanya was injured because he wasn't throwing inside leg kicks. That's what we will see, because Israel Adesanya gets on a very odd amount of positive treatment and then pretends like it's all hate. Do you know what I mean? It's annoying. Like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I'll see you at the next video. Bye-bye.